gentlemen, once again, welcome to the 72nd Annual Buffalo Bucks NAIA Division I Men's Basketball National Championships. It's today's first round matchup between number 7, McKendree, and the visitors on the scoreboard, Northwestern, Oklahoma. As always, the NAIA encourages and promotes everyone to be champions of character. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. The NAIA Champions of Character Foundation is pleased to honor one player from each team for representing the 5 core values of respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. These players were chosen by their institutions as one of the basketball players who best represents the NAIA Champions of Character. Please join us as we congratulate John Russler of McKendree and Chris Johnson of Northwestern.
And welcome back to the Muni in downtown Kansas City, everyone. Metro Mania continues as we go for the night sessions here this evening. Northwest Oklahoma State University out of Alva, Oklahoma, taking on McKendree the Bearcats out of Lebanon, Illinois. And they're the number 7 seed. And we revisit the brackets and see how the teams have progressed so far today. Union wins, Columbia, Missouri wins, Cumberland and Westminster win their ball games. Westminster was in overtime. Oklahoma Baptist, the number 2 seed, moves on after beating Life. And then Mid-America Nazarene, another local school out of the Heart America Conference, beats Azusa Pacific, a game that you might have just seen here on Metro Sports. And our games tonight will feature McKendree and Northwest Oklahoma. And then later on we'll have Texas Wesleyan in that nightcap going up against Lindsey Wilson. Here's how the games went yesterday. A lot of upsets yesterday. William Jewell had the big one as they knocked off Rogers State, the number 1 seed in the tournament from Oklahoma. And some other upsets along the way. Central Methodist of the Heart of America Conference beats the number 4 seed in perennial power, Georgetown, Kentucky. So this has been an outstanding and exciting tournament so far. And welcome back to the Muni, everyone. Along with Doug Elston, this is Neil Harwell. We'll be with you in the late night ball games here this evening. And Doug, we went on late into the evening last night. I finally hit the pillow at about 2:30, 2:45. Made it to my 9 a.m. meeting. We're ready for more basketball here tonight. And glad to have you with us here this evening. It's been a fun tournament so far.
Well, absolutely. I enjoyed watching you last night, and you probably had visions of tree-infested jackets, suit coats in your dancing through your head as you hit the pillow, huh?
You like Coach Stribling from Tougaloo.
Good stuff.
Well,
love the upsets today, too. Last night, yesterday, and today. And that's what makes this tournament so special is, you know, a number 1 team, number 2 team can get knocked off at any time by anybody.
And in this game, we have the number 7 seed McKendree from Lebanon, Illinois, taking on Northwestern Oklahoma State from Alva, Oklahoma, and the Sooner Athletic Conference.
McKendree, the better record and more in depth on paper, and Coach Statham with a number of wins, but a very inexperienced squad on the floor with 6 freshmen and 4 sophomores.
And down low, that shot going down for Ken Detmer, the first 2 tonight. He averages just over 9 points a game on the season.
So as we saw just there, and you'll see throughout the course of this basketball game, some very fundamental play by the McKendree guys.
Well, we've seen that over and over throughout the years from this team. There's the rebound picked out of the air by Eric Hobby. And up the floor, they work it quickly. Down low, shaping up Brad Copeland as they swing it around to Wolff. Wolff with the penetration. Nice look on the drive. And getting a free look is Brad Copeland in his first two, averaging almost 11 points a game.
In the first two possessions, you can see a steady theme, and that is playing the game inside out and very unselfish with the basketball.
And a traveling call on the Rangers of Northwestern Oklahoma State,
who are a very experienced team, and they come at you with 6 seniors, 3 juniors, and 3 freshmen. So with the McKendree crew very young on the floor versus a very experienced team from Northwestern Oklahoma State.
This is Andy Wolff, the 6'1" sophomore, handling the point. Outstanding assist guy from outside. Palm, and Eric Palm with the bucket. He's their leading scorer, their All-American, and all of a sudden a 7-0 run for McKendree to start the game.
An excellent execution in the first 3 possessions by McKendree, and you can see good solid screens are set right here toward the top of the key. Good solid screen, just picking off the defender, and enough time to get an open shot by Eric Palm, who was Conference Player of the Year 2 seasons in a row now.
Yeah, and the NAIA All-American first team last season, averaging about 20 points a game on the season. And somewhere in that huddle, Harry Statham, the coach of McKendree, who's in his 43rd season, and they seem to be getting better every season under Coach Statham. Even though he's been there that long, they talk about sometimes the game passing you by. Absolutely not at McKendree.
Well, that goes to show you something. Really, the game all comes back to the fundamentals of the ball game, and that's exactly what Coach Statham teaches and exactly what we're seeing early on in this ball game.
And working on the shutout right now from outside Hobby, and that's a 3.
What you don't teach are guys that can shoot percentage shots like that. However, I'm sure they work on shots every day in practice, exactly what they're getting in the game. So these guys are seeing repetitively all these open shots all the time in practice too.
A 10-0 start for McKendree, out of bounds to the Bearcats of McKendree. And you always wonder how you're going to start in the first round of the national tournament. And McKendree could not have started much better than this.
Oh, I mean, they're shooting the lights out. Execution is perfect right now. And I'm sure Coach Statham will tell you just a little bit differently, because that's how you get to that level of winning when you're so detail-oriented the way he is.
Great ball movement. Inside shot, no good. They go after their own rebound, and scoring is Eric Hobby. What a start to this one for McKendree. And Doug, if you're Northwestern Oklahoma State here, what do you got to do to kind of stop the momentum here of McKendree and get something going?
Well, you definitely got to focus, and it happens on each and every possession, not only right now offensively, but also defensively. McKendree making it very difficult on both ends of the floor right now, forcing the tempo and aggressive in both ends.
Going to work again down low is Detmer, but he traveled. Well, a lot of times teams will look inside. Let's get the ball inside, settle down, get a good look at the basket. Don't settle for the 3 when things aren't going your way, and they have not scored in the first 3 minutes and change of this one.
And that's exactly how McKendree has taken this lead. They're playing the ball game inside out. Yeah, they've hit a couple of 3s already, but it's gone inside the majority of the time first.
And there's the first bucket of the ball game, the floater by Cottrell Curry, his first 2 of the ball game, obviously, as it's the first 2 for the Rangers here in round 1 of the national tournament.
And a good solid screen to free Cottrell for that open runner from about 5.
Near steal on the wing. Another way to turn it up, as you suggested, Doug, is on the defensive end. Can fuel your offense on the other side if you get some good hustle steals and some aggressiveness on the other end of the floor.
Truly, that should be where it starts, and then on the offensive end, it has to start from the inside and work your way out.
Here's Hobby. They swing it around now to Wolff.
Oh, good screen.
Detmer, not this time. High for the rebound is Brad Copeland, the sophomore from O'Fallon, Illinois. He's fouled and will go to the line. Now, Copeland has been an outstanding player in only his sophomore season. He started almost every game as a freshman, but man, has this Bearcat team gotten off to a great start.
Inside, and you see Detmer there, and Copeland comes at you on the inside. Some good outside shooting by Hobby. Everybody really knowing their roles for the Bearcats right now. Well, as always, and that's why Coach Statham has that winning record that he does.
Copeland 51% from the line, gets 1 out of 2 this time, and it's a 13-2 game.
You know, McKendree's coming at you right now with a lot of confidence as well. They're on a 21-game winning streak at this point, so confidence is definitely brimming.
A great look from Curry, but the ball fumbled out of bounds by Eichenberger. And that would have been an easy bucket had he held on to the basketball that time. So here, as far as the local schools in the Kansas City area, or at least nearby, the Heart of America Conference, the conference that have gone from Division II to Division I now in the NAIA, and they used to play down in Branson at that Division II tournament. All 3 of those schools have won.
It's creating a lot of buzz right now in Kansas City, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of fan support, and that's going to make for a very good tournament here as well, as always.
William Jewell knocking off the #1 seed Rogers State last night. Mid-America Nazarene winning this evening in their game against the Sousa Pacific. Central Methodist also won as they beat Georgetown. And, you know, those are 3 perennial powers that those schools have knocked off. Teams that are here every year at the Division I tournament, as is McKendree. This is their 13th appearance under Coach Statham. They made the semifinals back in 2003. Northwest Oklahoma State had their best run in 2007 when they made it to the Elite 8. So both these schools have been outstanding in this decade here in this tournament.
You know, the Rangers are coming at McKendree right now with a little bit of a different defense at this point. A lot more swarming defense, good hustle by everybody right now. But what they're doing, they're throwing a 3/4 court 1-2-2 trapping press back into a man-to-man with a lot of focus on Eric Palm, who really makes that McKendree team go.
A little bit of evidence there of the defense fueling the offense as they turned up the heat on the defensive end, and here they come after the turnover, handling out high Brandon Brown, the 5'9" junior from Houston. Off to Termaine Snyder.
Rangers right now trying to play a 2-man game and then isolate the post on one side of the floor with a lot of room to operate right there. And you can see that's exactly how they go and get a basket. They're now playing the game inside, back out on the offensive end.
And they got all over that glass that time. Wow. Snyder got the hoop and the 3 ball on the other end for Eric Palm.
And you can't give him any room at all. Already 6 points early on in this ballgame.
On the wing, Snyder. Off to Chris Johnson from Kansas City. Went to Ruskin High School nearby, so playing at home. Turn around, and the shot going down for Termaine Snyder.
Termaine is obviously the focal point on the inside. He's averaging 13 points per game. Second team all-conference, and they're going to him predominantly right now in the post.
Down low, little help defense by Curry, knocked out of bounds. McKendree will keep it. And into the ball game, Carrington Pettiford for McKendree, but placing Andy Wolff as the Bearcats will have it from underneath their own hoop. And also Jason Rogers checks in for Northwestern Oklahoma State. Off the inbound, the fall-away 3, no good on the shot by Hobby. And here come the Rangers of Northwestern Oklahoma State. Snyder thought about it, goes off the dribble, and draws the foul on McKendree. And this one's going to be on Sean Rockers. That's his first personal foul. And the first team foul on McKendree here at the 13:29 mark. Glad to have you with us here on Metro Sports for Metro Mania. Here the Division I NAIA National Championship Tournament. And the whiff from outside by Rogers. Along with Doug Elston, this is Neil Harwell, and we're glad to have you here on Metro Sports.
Right now, the Rangers really can't get much going from the outside. They need that to keep that focus from going inside, as they're really getting going from Tremaine Snyder on the inside, but they've got to keep pressure off of him by hitting some shots from the outside as well.
They work it down low. Copeland can't get it to go. Rebounded by Rogers. And quickly to Chris Johnson. Goes down low with a nice pass. Spin move on the baseline won't go. He put it in the crack but got it back. That is Dixon, and he'll go to the line after some nice hustle going after his own shot. The 6'7", 230 junior from Oxnard, California.
Got some nice averages too. 6'7", you mentioned, almost 11 points a game, 7 rebounds, but not very efficient from the foul stripe at 54%.
And they say he's really been playing well over the last month or so. The transfer from Ventura College, where he averaged 17 points and 12 rebounds a game. Missing the first one. The free throw line has not been kind to him over the season, about 54%. There's Harry Statham, the all-time leader in wins in college basketball history at 993.
That's pretty strong, obviously. Chris, I don't know if I've seen that many.
He also
games.
has set the record now for most games coached in, 13-7-3. Falling away, that one goes for Eric Palm. 8 points for Palm. Their go-to guy and co-captain on this McKendree team.
You know what's amazing is you have guys like Coach Bob Knight, who's obviously a Hall of Famer, who gets a lot of notoriety, but you forget about guys like Coach Statham, who 993 wins. Are you kidding?
Well, he's in the NAIA Hall of Fame, and he went in 1998. How about that? You go into a Hall of Fame, and you've coached 11 years later. You're still out there. Copeland with some great work.
Good strong move on the outside, on the inside by Copeland.
I'll tell you something else. I don't think Coach Statham's looking to turn it into clipboard anytime soon.
No, he's coming at you with a lot of enthusiasm over there.
And why should he give it up? 28-5 this season, 14-0 in the conference, first place. And how about Brandon Dixon, who's been going strong the last couple of times? 10-point lead for McKendree. From outside, this one is a whiff by Palm.
Uncharacteristic by Palm, knowing he's a very good shooter. He is the lone senior on this ball squad, and obviously that's who the offense, the game revolves around on that team, because he's been there for a while, but see a ton of experience from him. Extension of the coach on the floor.
John Russler, also a senior on this team for McKendree. Here's Snyder. Off the cut, Davis. Now Snyder looking to go one-on-one. Oh, strong move. And he was going to ram that on all y'all that time.
Well, going to his dominant side right now, you can't give him this lane going to his left as a left-handed player, and that's exactly what Detmer did. He got a little bit off balance that time, and that's all Snyder needed was that slight off-balance move by Detmer, and he's gone.
62% from the free throw line on the season. Andrew Brown in his second season as the head coach at Northwestern Oklahoma State. He was an assistant at Northwestern Oklahoma State when they went to the Elite Eight in 2007. So he's been here before in the middle of this tournament as an assistant coach, and now in his second season as the head coach, Northwestern Oklahoma, 20-11 overall and 15-7 in the always tough Sooner Athletic Conference. Snyder with the second free throw has 5 points and cuts the lead to 9. There's that full court pressure, and somehow the Super Bowl bounce. I mean, he saved his mug by putting his hands in front of that one. It might have broken his grill. Talking about Pettiford
and
with the nice hands. They work it over the top of the defense, and the score by Russler.
Excellent seal that time by Russler as the defense was fronting him. Nobody on the help side coming, so he had a clear lane to the basket.
Curry. Oh, they call the offensive foul.
That's what experience does for you, too. A little bit of an acting job that time by Palm off of just slight pressure into his chest.
So that foul goes on Curry, his first, third team foul on Northwestern Oklahoma State. Here's Wolff, who's had a nice year, averaging about 4 assists a game for this team. Now it's Palm, gets some freedom in the lane. Might have been contact down there, but goes out of bounds over to the Rangers.
That's what makes him such a good scorer that time. Obviously able to shoot from the outside, and you have to respect that. Then when the defender comes up on him, he's able to go to the basket, and obviously has a knack for drawing that contact and getting to the free throw line most times.
Oklahoma State with that 3-guard lineup: Curry, Rogers, and also Davis. Here's Rogers on the wing, looking for an opening, finding Snyder. Oh, ball got knocked away and into the hands of Hobby. Here they come. Wolff with it in transition. You know, if there has been a weakness for McKendree this season, they had some outstanding three-point shooting last season. Not so much this year, about 30%. But it's been a little better as of late, we understand. And they lost a guy by the name of TJ Stone, who was a 50% three-point shooter last season. Hard to replace guys like that.
Yeah, there aren't too many guys that shoot 50% floating around outside of 20 feet.
Here's Copeland back to the free throw line, the 6'7" sophomore. You get a nice look from the baseline jib, his work tonight. And Copeland, who missed 5 games in the middle of the season with a broken wrist. In fact, he broke the wrist in a game, and he played the rest of the game with the broken wrist. They didn't know it was broken and found out later, and then he missed those 5 games, but pretty much back in full effect now. And once again, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Rockers back into the ball game. The 6'6" freshman.
You know, one thing that you're seeing right now from Coach Statham, he knows about this tournament, been here, done that on several occasions. He knows how grueling it can get, and he's rotating guys through very well throughout the course of this basketball game, keeping everybody fresh, knowing that this is just their first game of possibly many.
Snyder just looking to go one-on-one with that strong left hand, missed the shot. It bounds into the hands of Wolff, and here come the Bearcats. Palm, who's met there by Cottrell Curry.
Curry keeps giving him a lane into
the
paint.
Good night with that one.
That's what Palm is doing. He's taking advantage of that lane into the paint that Curry is giving him, and then exploiting any kind of weakness from that point forward.
The spin move and fade away in your face from the elbow by Eric Palm. Got a feeling some people have seen that one before over his career.
Yeah, they're to the tune of 20 points per game.
For 2 straight seasons. Had an outstanding career. He's got almost 2,000 points in his career. In fact, he may get that in the game tonight. He came in with 1982 in his career, 1,982 points, 7th all-time at McKendree, and he has 10 points here tonight. So he's on his way to get 2 large
in the first
half,
as
we say here on Metro Sports, for a career. 25-11, McKendree on top by 14.
And they look good too. And you know, we talked about from the outside last year, very good three-point shooting team, and obviously one of the strengths of a great coach like Coach Statham is that he plays to the strength of his team. He designs the offense around the team. A lot of their points, with the exception of Palm right now, have come from the paint. And so he's done a very good job of refocusing their efforts now, playing the game from the inside out.
Andrew Brown talking it over in his huddle, looking for the Rangers to make a move here in the first half. Well, right there, we were talking about Chris Johnson. You know, The reason why we got him ISO, he was a Metro Sports intern last summer from Ruskin High School, and also he is the 2004 recipient of the NAIA Champions of Character Award. So a lot of great reasons to show that young man, and glad to have him back in town and playing in the national tournament for his school, Northwestern Oklahoma State.
Absolutely.
And he's getting ready to check in here in a minute. There goes Palm on the other side, and one.
Very nice move that time as Palm saw the basket on the side of the floor he was coming from taken away, so he uses the rim to his advantage. Here the basket's taken away, a nice jump that time by Cameron Davis on the defense, and so he just goes on the flip side.
Wait a minute, how good does that look from the jib cam over there?
That's wonderful.
You just don't get that everywhere.
I was wondering when that occurred watching last night.
You had been asleep, I think. Did you see the camera last night?
Well, I had a jacket keeping me awake last night, so I had to see the camera.
Nice look over there. You get it here in the national tournament, and only here on Metro Mania on Metro Sports, and Eric Palm finishes off the three-point play. It's a 17-point lead for McKendree. Shake and bake out high, and it's a kicked ball that will stay with Northwestern Oklahoma State. A couple of substitutions back into the ball game. Pettiford and also Copeland for McKendree. Curry triggers it in. And now they work it around the top, back to Curry. Nice quick move into the lane and up over the top of the defense for his second hoop tonight.
Northwestern Oklahoma State exploding that offense. Some good driving that time by Curry, but they need to start it here on defense. They can't stop Eric Palm just yet.
Here's Wolff going baseline and kicking it out high. Pettiford is absolutely converged upon over there, and they call a foul on Northwestern Oklahoma State. It's going to be on Catrell Curry, his second personal and fifth team foul on the Rangers here in the first half.
There's a couple things I haven't seen just yet. Eric Palm coming out of the basketball game, that's number one, and then he has not stopped moving either at any time when he's in the ball game. This guy has got a motor on him.
Chris Johnson, the 6'1", 180 senior from right here in Kansas City, draws the foul that time.
See Eric Palm moving.
And when you're a Metro Sports intern for a summer, you get ISO'd even when you're on defense, and showing the willingness to get up in somebody. He'll take a seat on the bench right now. He learned all that right here in Kansas City, Ruskin High School. And Eric Palm floats the free throw in there. You would expect him to be a good free throw shooter, Doug, and at 84%, I guess I'm told that's a good percentage. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think whomever's telling you that is exactly right.
Another one going down, and all good scorers get to the line. He came into this game having shot 233 free throws on the season.
And one more three, he's about to hit the 2,000 plateau. 18 points in the first half, right now 15, but
David Holmes trying to cross somebody up, but they were staying in front of him everywhere he went. Ooh. Now it's Brown on the follow away. Palm went for the rebound, and somehow he fought and got it corralled and will bring it up himself. And then a length of the floor chest pass right on the money to Copeland.
Well, those big guys from McKendree really like to draw a lot of contact inside.
And a traveling call out front on Brandon Dixon. Eric Hobby back in there for McKendree. Some fans across the way have made it over from Lebanon, Illinois.
Eric Palm's coming at you from every angle right now on the inside, constantly moving, creating shots for himself off of screens. Coach
Here's
Statham
the one I like right here, Dougie.
Oh, that's That's tough.
With the frog leg fall-away jumper.
Degree of difficulty on the last couple is extreme, but constantly moving. Now he's out of the game for the first time in 14 minutes.
Wolff dealing it back to Hobby on the pull-up from the free throw line and out of bounds. And it will go back over to Northwestern Oklahoma State. Harry Statham over there, he just look at him. He is
in it.
He's definitely in the game, but you know what? You've been coaching as long as, I think the heart rate over there is about 52.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's just calm, collected.
And just a little bit ago, he got out his little cheat sheet, just a little small little tablet of paper. He's got all his notes written on, so his preparation for his possible 994th win is the same as #1.
You think he knows how to prepare for a game? 8 times the Coach of the Year in the AMC, American Midwest Conference.
That's it.
You know, only 8 Coaches of the Year, Coach? Come on, man, 43 years? And, you know, he is the athletics director as well, so the double duty. And as John Dennison, our director in the truck, points out, he has had to have encountered every possible excuse that an 18-year-old guy can give you along the way.
I think he knows how to diffuse those by now. Just ignore him a little bit. Hey, we got somebody to bring in.
Going in for Eichenberger as he gets his first point of the ball game.
Extending that trap right now, a little full court 1-2-2 pressure.
Well, it's been successful when they've put it in there, and a quick timeout called by the McKendree bench over there.
And
as
imagine
they
that.
recognize Pettiford in deep trouble in the backcourt.
With 9.5 seconds gone off that 10-second count. Imagine the experience coming off the bench to call the timeout.
Yep. We've got another one for you in the nightcap here this evening. Late night with Doug Elston. We start off with this one. And it was supposed to be at 8 o'clock, this ball game, Doug. And of course, we tipped it off at about, what, 8:50? So after this, stay tuned here on Metro Mania for the Lindsey Wilson Kentucky game against Texas Wesleyan, who won the national title back in 2006, you might recall, Doug. .16 lead for McKendree. On the move, Wolff had it capped up above, but perhaps got him with the body down below. The foul's on Snyder. And that is his second personal foul, 8th team foul on Northwestern Oklahoma State. And to the line, Andy Wolff, a 67% free throw shooter. It's not about scoring for Andy Wolff, although he had a 19-point game early in the season against William Baptist. It is about handling, assists, where he averages about 4 a game on the season. He's in his second season, just a sophomore, Andy Wolff. 234 assists as a sophomore now in his career.
That's incredible.
Coming into this game here tonight, and hits the second free throw.
4 assists per game average, but I am watching right now Eric Palm, who is dizzying on the offensive end of the floor. He had to have overdosed on some vitamin B6 with all the energy he's coming at you with, just constantly moving.
What, have you gone GNC on me all of a sudden, or what, man?
I just learned that today.
It's always good when you share your knowledge. Especially, we get excited when it's health food industry. Outside, they work it around the perimeter to shape up that offense. On the move, this is Holmes. And they have been able to stay in front of Mr. Holmes every time he's tried to take it down low. Here's Dixon. Going strong, rebounds out to Palm. Floats a pass that's corralled by Copeland. Back out high, the 3 ball for Eric Palm, who has 18 points and is now a 2,000-point career scorer at McKendree.
And McKendree's defense, we see their offense obviously getting it done, but how about their defense right now? 14 first-half points for the Rangers. Excellent defense.
And this lead is 20 for the Bearcats. Felipe up over the top with the left hand. And Felipe Eichenberger will go to the free throw line, where he's 1 of 2 tonight and a 71% free throw shooter. Felipe, academic all-conference.
Good look on the inside, nice left-handed jump shot, and a good job by Felipe that time of using that back of his right arm to gain an advantage on the defense.
And showing you that he shoots those free throws with the right hand, but he goes to that little left-handed jump hook time and time again.
Pretty natural looking as well. And McKendree on pace for their 75 per game average, but they hold their opponents to 67 points per game, and obviously well below that right now are the Rangers.
Well, and the Rangers normally hold their opponent to 64 points a game. That's one of the better marks in all of NAIA. Wolff in the lane, and he dragged that pivot foot. So it's turned back over to the Rangers with 3:35 left here in round 1. 2 more games to go in round 1. The game you're watching right now, and then the game that we'll have for you later between Lindsey Wilson from Kentucky and Texas Wesleyan from Fort Worth. And we'll probably be tipping that thing off about, what, 10:45, 10:30, something like that? Stolen out front by Wolff. His 53rd steal of the season.
Oh, boy.
Mercy. David Holmes on his pogo stick on the other end. And Dixon weaves through the traffic with his 6th point of the game and cuts the lead to 17.
That's how you protect the basket right there, literally.
And a steal from behind by Brown. Here comes Dixon again, splits the defense and can't get it to go. And then rides him like a horse and calls the foul.
Ranger foul called on number 33, Brandon Dixon. That's his first personal, team 9.
Dixon's first personal. And the 9th team foul on Northwestern Oklahoma State. And to the line, Carrington Pettiford from the St. Louis area. Went to Christian Brothers College High School in St. Louis, CBC.
Pretty
as
good.
we know it. Some pretty good players that come out of there, like Larry Hughes. And to the locals, Mark Stricker. To drop his name in there.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. Mark Stricker.
You got to give some love to Strick.
Guy.
And a couple of free throws there for Carrington Pettiford. Oh, stolen away as Detmer took his wallet. Ken Detmer, the blonde bomber, out front, up for the downstroke here in the national tournament, and the lead is right back out to 21.
Good job again by McKendree on the defensive end, not just challenging each and every shot, but obviously getting in the lanes as well, as Detmer does a good job of getting that left paw in there, then off to the races, 6'7" center coming at you, monkey style.
From Lincoln Land Community College.
Oh, good angle here. Nice job by Detmer to not get hurt.
Well, nice steal out front by the big fella who averages over 9 points a game, almost 7 rebounds a game, and the McKendree faithful loving this one right now in downtown Kansas City here at the Muni. So Doug, Northwestern right now, 21 points they trail it by with 2:25 left. What's their goal as they talk it over in the huddle for this last couple of minutes of the first half?
Oh, they have to be very efficient on the offensive end, and then obviously stops right now. If you can go in the locker room right now, and a good goal would be 15 here to go in this last 2:25. If they can go in 15 down, it's probably some pretty good momentum from this basketball team.
And after getting punched in the mouth 12-0
yes.
to start the ball game, you know, not so bad over the probably last 10-12 minutes here. The Rangers trying to hang on. get into the clubhouse, carving into that lead, and
Nice.
Felipe.
Good execution that time by the Rangers, and then able to throw that defense back at you, which McKendree has done a good job of handling the defense.
Here's Wolff. They trapped him again. Somehow he got around it. Palm from outside. Not this time. High for the rebound is Dixon. And quickly on the move is Holmes. And one for David Holmes, the senior from Arlington, Texas.
In the act. This is almost NBA style right here. As in the act, Holmes comes at you very fast. Right there on the floor, he was fouled. Good job.
David Holmes, the transfer from Barton County Community College in Kansas. And looking to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. And a little short. But after the move, he has cut the lead to 17.
Northwestern doing a good job of cutting into that lead. Now they have to continue to do it on the defensive end of the floor, and especially guard one Eric Palm.
And an offensive foul on Pettiford.
Felipe is giving some good energy off the bench.
Is that Felipe out there taking the charge on the perimeter? At 6'8" and 235, the senior from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Felipe Eichenberger. So maybe a little more hop in the step of the Rangers here, as they were trailing by 21 last time they huddled up. 4 quick points, trailing by 17, and they got a good shot at maybe making the goal you put in front of them, Doug. They've taken your challenge.
They have, and I think they're going to
get it to
that
15.
challenge. Yes, they're just about there right now, but it'll make for an interesting second half. They can cut it down to 15 or even less going into that locker room.
The NAIA tournament will be televised wall-to-wall on Metro Sports. All first, second, and quarterfinal games will be brought to you commercial-free by Time Warner Cable's Roadrunner Turbo. The commercial-free coverage should make each game 22 minutes faster. Just like Roadrunner Turbo with Power Boost, an extra burst of download speed up to 22 megs. And Doug, that's why we get out of here a little bit faster tonight because of Roadrunner Turbo.
Nice, Felipe again.
Eichenberger now with 6 points in the game. He averages 3 a game on the season. And they are now back to within that 15 that you were talking about, Doug, as we have 1 minute left to play. Palm in the lane, some great moves, and it goes. He has 20.
A contortionist on that one.
Eric Palm showing you an eyeful in the lane that time.
I don't recall the Rangers yet hitting a three-pointer in this basketball game, so pretty much everything has been in the paint.
Dixon in the lane, and it trickles home. And back to a 15-point lead, 8 points for Brandon Dixon. Shot clock is off. The pressure remains on for Northwestern Oklahoma State until they back off. And now Curry will allow Wolff to go at it, or Palm to go at it. And stolen away. Out front, the quick hands of Holmes at the buzzer would have counted had it gone, but they got it down to that 15-point mark that you talked about when they trailed by 21 with 2 minutes left. But right now, it's McKendree on top. Eric Palm with 20 in this one. 10 of 15 on his 20 points, and we'll throw it back to the Metro Sports studio. We'll have the second half when we return. Now back to the studio.
Well, we got to pass the ball a little better, no turnovers, and stop some of their drives. They had a couple down the middle didn't like there, but our kids are playing well. They came to play. Just got to get our defense short up a little bit and take care of the ball. We had a few turnovers that we don't like.
Are you confident that they're going to win?
Well, there's half to play, and that's the most important one. So we're optimistic. We got to play hard.
All right, good luck, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Muni in downtown Kansas City, everyone. The NAIA Men's Division I National Tournament. The first half statistics, Doug. You would expect a score like we have when you look at those.
Well, especially that of Eric Palm, obviously shooting the basketball very well as McKendree at 52%. Eric Palm is 7 of 10 himself and 3 of 5 outside the three-point line. So a very good job by him and really leading the charge by shooting the basketball so well.
McKendree flew out of the gate to start this thing. They went up 12-0 before Northwestern Oklahoma State could even catch their breath. And since that time, the Rangers have played the Bearcats pretty well. On the follow-away, Hobby, and the rebound, Curry. He's moving with it. Down the floor, Holmes on the baseline. Actually, that was Davis on the baseline. They keep it alive. Oh, trying to save it, and then the foul quickly on Wolff. Down low, it looked like he had it, tried to save it from going out of bounds, but right to Northwestern Oklahoma State. And going down hard that time.
Oh, that's one
I
of those
think it's Davis that went down hard, isn't it?
It's holding his elbow. And
it's Brandon Brown that went down hard.
Slight stinger there that will go away pretty quickly.
Brandon, the 5'9", 170 junior from Houston, one of the leading scorers on this team at about 13 a game. He has yet to score in this one. Second team all-conference. Missing the first, a 74% free throw shooter. Brandon has scored over 1,000 points in his career already as a junior. Also a guy that was the freshman of the year in the Sooner Athletic Conference.
Right there.
He's been an outstanding player and still has not scored in this ball game.
Eric Palm comes out of the basketball game after an earful from Coach Statham. Andy Wolff, I'm sorry, is supposed to be the extension on the floor. He had 4 assists and a turnover in the first half, and obviously that turnover didn't go over very well.
So it was Wolff who was getting an earful, not Palm. Okay, let's save the day on everybody here.
Yeah.
Palm's still out there making it happen.
I don't think Palm gets too many earfuls at this point in his senior season.
I got a feeling that Coach Statham pretty much knows how to treat everybody.
Yeah.
And where they stand, don't you think?
Well, when you win 993 games, you're a psychologist as well.
And you've coached in 1,373 games. Oh, my goodness. And Copeland at the line. Hits the first one. And got 2 straight. This 51% free throw shooter that they say has been shooting it a lot better from the free throw line as of late. Showed you why right there. He's got 8 points in the ball game.
You know, I'd love to see the coaching tree surrounding Coach Statham and how many assistant coaches have gone on to be such excellent and successful head coaches.
Yeah.